All right, what is up, everyone? This will be my Darius jungle video. Yes, I said Darius jungle, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know on how to play this very strong jungler. And yeah, Darius jungle is really broken right now. Wasn't a believer, but now I'm a Darius believer. His build path in this game, I'm going phase rush with free boots. You can also go conquer with sorcery second against, more of a melee comp. This comp I'm against is more range based, so I'm going to favor the phase rush with stride breaker. And yeah, Darius jungle is just really broken. Your full clear is extremely fast. You're going to start W with 2 points into Q. I had a game, I just went Triforce into a very melee comp with Conqueror, and honestly I just 1v9'd, and I really wasn't a big fan of him before, but I think he's really broken now with the item changes and champions just doing a lot less burst damage. It favors Darius heavily because he has insane free stats in his kit, which honestly just makes him one of the best junglers in the game right now. Here we're just going to save our smite because we can easily get the burn or the bleed passive going. And Darius is a very simple champion. There are some things you need to know about him. There are mechanics that you can excel at him, but most importantly, your passive is just, here we'll just have to kill this Elise, and I'll show you why we're just OP. Pop that and flash, and the bleed should take care of the rest. Silas should be able to deal with that. Very beautifully done, Silas. Usually you're not going to be getting cheese, but when they cheese you just have to kind of play it as well as possible. I might have been able to not flash there, but what you saw there was actually me pressing W and flashing really well. So the Gromp, W is an auto attack reset, and what I did there was actually utilize that auto attack reset, if you notice, to help secure the Gromp. So smite does 602 damage. I already know that. My brain is super big. I use W auto attack to burst it down around 700. Because your auto W is going to do around 100 more damage. So that's just a guaranteed 700 damage there. And when you're playing against cheesing champions, Darius is insane level 1 and 2. So I don't know why she thought cheesing your boy Inori was going to be a good play, but it was not. And here we're just going to keep full clearing. I mean, if a play like that fails for the enemy jungle Elise, it's not going to be good for her. That doesn't really have the most impact on your game, right? You want to be playing very smart still and just be very cautious about things that can go wrong. So important things to remember when Darius jungle. Q, your outer Q is very important to hit, right? Your outer Q actually heals on champions and big monsters, so you always want to hit the outer part. Really important to utilize that as much as possible. Here's a good gank angle. We're level 4. At least could be here, but I'm just going to entertain the idea and just try to push them out so I can secure this bot side crap. So this ward really cost efficient. He could roam here, but I'm just trying to make sure I can get the crab going here. So here we're just going to beat it down. They are moving in a very weird way, so we're just going to assume that they're up to no good here. And the crab reveals. So what I want is to actually gank her, but I need her to be a bit further to the left side. Her W is down, but I need her to be like by the cannon minion. Also, I want to cross, so I need her to trade in a very greedy way. She's dead. Once you proc the phase rush against him, with these champions, it's pretty much guaranteed death by them. Maybe a kill angle if I get the slow off. Damn, not close enough. But Darius is really broken early level, so it's at least not knowing that she's dealing with a Giga Chad on the Darius is making a lot of mistakes by fighting me. So you want to avoid that. Here we're going to be playing an Emerald division, and honestly, I think Darius is just free LP in lower ranks too. Like, if you guys are not the best at climbing right now, I recommend just learning Darius jungle and just becoming a god. Here's a mechanic. You can just Q and buffer E them and then kind of like buffer the Q to get the most out of the outer edge of the Q while they're stunned, sort of thing. Your E is kind of like a stun. The pull is really important against a lot of champs. You rely heavily on like your E as your CC ability to catch up to people. With phase rush, it's just really good into range comps. Like, for example, that Elise. If I had Conqueror, it might be much harder for me to kind of make plays against her. So I always favor it. Here's an example. E into Q like that can be really good in some situations. Elise is ganking. She fails the gank. I'm happy. I have a lot of money. This is where you want to know what you're building. So like we talked about, I don't know about TMF for a second, but phase is really nice because we actually do struggle a lot with getting onto people. And that's literally the whole build's going to be, how do we get onto people? This game is an example of where we're going to utilize the phase rush plus the stride breaker to get onto these range champions, right? If you look at the enemy champions, three of the main people are going to be range, and they're going to be kiting you. And if you're getting kited, you need items to help you get there. And stride breaker into deadmans is pretty much a guaranteed, very good combination. But in this game, they're pretty heavy into AP, so we might do force of nature as the second item. Your full build is going to be Sterix, usually third item, with a stride breaker into deadman, Sterix, force of nature, and like death sands as like your last item. That's generally your full build. In this situation, we're in like a weird like, you know, heavy AP comp, so we have to think about whether we need force of nature early. I don't know if I want to do dragon or void grubs right now. I just think I'm really strong. I just hit 6. I want to see if Elise is on dragon, and I just want to see if I'm able to kind of snipe out some camps or steal it, or see exactly what's going on with Elise. So here we see her. What I want to do is get a ward here just to keep my attention on her. I personally think we can do dragon and kill Elise, so what we're going to do is utilize here. I know Elise is here, but I want to kind of bait it a bit. Kind of bait their stun out. The cocoon hit misses. You just kind of play around that. Here I feel like they're scared enough that I can kind of, you know, honestly just walk in and just kill this Orianna here. We want to E-flash her, ideally, when you see the Ori ulti come out. If Sylas hits E, it's pretty much guaranteed kill. I have my R going now. Oh! Spider down. Call an ambulance for the Spider Queen. So here, Darius, if you position well, you can actually hit your Q on literally all the void grubs. Like, if you're telling me a champion like this isn't designed for jungle when everything about him just revolves so well around the jungle role. And you want to keep your bleed stacks on everyone. They stack up to 5. A big thing about the bleed stacks, your entire champion revolves around them. So you have to know how to get to 5 stacks. The answer is 5 stacks will make you a god. It procs your passive, which gives you your bloodlust thing, which gives you 5 stacks on everyone you hit, which by the way is insane, and also gives you like 680, which is a BF sword and a pickaxe together, which scales into literally almost 3 BF swords, right? So it's an insane part of your kit is just getting to 5 stacks. That's a big thing I'm going to highlight in team fights, is how are we going to get to 5 stacks? How are we going to get the ulti true damage to proc? And how we're going to play around that. Because your ulti does really low amounts of damage. It does true damage, right? But 300 true damage is not, or 150 true damage is literally nothing. The cool thing about it is it actually does more per stack of your passive. So once you have them at 5 stack and you ulti them, that's maximum damage, which is very important for killing people. And here you see us, we're just really heavily playing around farm. You don't want to force too many ganks because, well, we are Darius. And I go flash personally because I think flash is really important on Darius. Even though Ghost sounds good, I don't think Ghost is that good. Just the idea of, I don't think you need that much movement speed. Nimbus Cloak got buffed, so it actually feels really good now. I just think it's important to have Q flash on people. You can charge your Q up and flash, and I found that to be really, really OP in fights. It always Q max into E max second. That's just how he's sort of designed to level up his abilities. This game I'm playing around Dragon, so I full clear. Obviously, I feel really confident that I can get away with full clearing in this situation, in this game, because of how poorly Elise has played her early game. I feel the threat of her so low. I'm 80 CS, high CS in the game. I heavily emphasized on farming. And here we're going to go pink. And even though I full cleared, and you guys would probably be like, maybe we should just do dragon. We're strong, right? Realistically, we weren't strong there, right? Because even though I had all that money, I didn't spend that money. Now I'm strong. I spent the money to get the thing that I needed, which was stride breaker, right? The core first item. This is where that early advantage is actually paid for. Now I am strong. I could get one shot, but now if I did dragon on the previous rotation, that would have been bad, right? So you have to understand those things are really important for your game. So you always have to remember that. I think Gragas might come here. Elise just finished crab. So what I'm thinking here is we play around maybe Elise walking upwards. How are they going to play around this dragon? Orianna's a free robot. That should be killed here. I want them to rotate up here, so I'm going to watch this pathway. I also think we can just rotate on them as well. I'm really strong for this situation. Might face check Elise. She might be trying to dive, so we're just going to be really cautious about, you know, potentially where can Elise be. So here, we're just going to take the big boy kill here. Big boy Gragas is going to be our man for the hour. And Stridebreaker active is really important. Elise could still be here, but I hope they go on Vel'Koz because I will take care of the rest. Ooh, that was a bit brave by me. Honestly, with my Q healing on jungle camps, I could do this. Darius Q got buffed a while ago where you heal every time you hit the outer Q on, and Q heals off your missing health, so you're pretty much able to do everything you want if you hit your Q. Even if you're low, you can still go in jungle because of this interaction. Hit both people with Q. Doesn't have enough burp to kill me. Raise the roof. Raise the roof. Obviously, it's a bit of a stomp, but you know, I really do think this champion is really broken. I have a lot of fun playing him, and I'm going to make a lot more videos of him in case this team just gives up because of just pure domination of the Darius jungle. And some games I do go conquer when it's a melee comp. So here, if you want to do the void warps, just stand here. You can kind of see. Actually hit a few of the bleeds. But the thing is, you want to keep your bleeds on everything. You have to kind of maneuver by autoing everything once if you're trying to do that. But this is only if I know no one's here. But make sure you keep your bleed stacks on multiple things, especially with their jungle farm too. You can also heal a lot with the outer Q, which is capped on 3 targets, I believe. An important thing is your W's are slow, really important. You can also go for, you know, like plays like into E, auto W, Q, Stridebreaker, and just really stack up that passive. Once you hit those stacks, you start to get a good feeling about eyeing for how much damage you need to get a reset. Because if your ulti isn't resetting, you really are messing up in fights. Because once they have 5 stacks, you got to go for those resets on people. And and League of Legends this season, what I've noticed is, you know, like games just go really long. Even though a game like this is really stompy, surprisingly, a lot of people just really believe in themselves, and it's hard to close out games like you once were able to. So you end up finding yourself in situations where the games are going much longer than usual. Here I'm waiting for Zac to E. Zac E's, and then we can kill him. So how do we want to start a kill? We want to start with Q to movement speed up, and then what we're going to do is pretty much Stridebreaker, E him, and there, right? Real simple stuff, right? And this game, I talked about it, they're pretty heavy AP. Usually Darius goes Deadman second, but because we're against like a heavy AP comp, you could just go Force of Nature second in this situation. It's all about that movement speed item that can help you really latch on to the targets you're trying to get on, right? That's a big part of it, is I need to get onto people. If I'm getting kited, it's just not a good thing. This situation, I could go for Herald, right? But I think I might just buy my Swifties, also Swifties best boots by far, and just head on down there. So the general thing is you want to go Deadmans, right? But they are AP heavy, so what we're going to do is we're just going to go into Force of Nature second. AP, you're going to end up finding yourself fighting these 2 targets the most. It's always going to be jungle mid that you end up facing the most in games, in these game situations, plus Gragas support, plus Zac top. Obviously, this is a really good game for, you know, Force of Nature. We're still going to go most likely Sterix third and then like a Deadman fourth. I generally just mix it up and flip it depending on who I'm against. If I was against like a Jarvan or an AD jungler, I'd probably go Deadman second into Sterix, into like a Force of Nature, and then like a last item, a Death Stance. And if you do this build, if you just follow pretty much what I've been saying in this game, you're literally going to climb so free. He's really not that hard too. Even if you play him poorly, surprisingly, you're gonna notice that like you're gonna get a lot of stuff going because of that. Maybe that dive was a bit much, but I was determined to get what I started off there. But even that one auto just got Corky to almost half health. If I was able to auto an R, I would get him to 20% health. We don't really want to be diving that deep that early. Just wanted to show you guys how your boy runs people down. I run people down like no other, right? Darius is just the runner down. Whether it's for good or bad, he will run it down. Now, I had the game earlier where I was against a Jarvan and a pretty heavy melee comp. So that's where I went Conqueror, and I found Conqueror to be really good in team fights as well. Phase Rush is just the idea is like this range amount, like jungle matchups is pretty much why I would go Phase Rush. If I'm against like a ranged jungler like Darius or like a Kindred, a Nidalee, someone I really need Phase Rush for, or else they can permakite me, then I'd go Phase Rush. That's pretty much it. Just go for crab here. You just want to be on the objective, and the big reason is you just do a lot of damage to it. If the fight ends up starting, you can go fight, but there's no reason for us to be like trying to fight them right now. Darius is by far the ultimate like flank champion. If you're able to flank on people while they're doing something, it's really good. If they're just standing still and you have to run into them, it can generally lead to like bad situations that you want to avoid. Here I think we can fight. I need vision so I can pull someone in here. Stacking in your passive to 5 on Herald, for example, doesn't really do much. I'm trying to get the Q auto attack. Ooh, I'm a runner. I'm a track star. Run from Darius. You'll see my... Oh, never mind. I'm just gonna get this red buff and do Herald. It's all about kiting, weaving in, getting your stacks. That ulti on Zac was super troll, by the way. I honestly was thinking, I was like, what do I haven't had the situation where I ulti a Zac passive. I thought it might give me the reset anyways. So I was kind of curious, but you don't want to be wasting R like that. It was really bad. Initially, pulling the Zac out of his E was really good, right? Like that's obviously a win for us. Preventing him to engage, really important. Using your E to prevent like these CC ability. Your E is like a stun, right? So you have to use it against abilities that want to dash away. For example, I was using my E every time Jarvan wanted to EQ the game before, and it prevented him from getting away. I'll probably use my E very hard, very strongly, very beautifully. I'm still extremely strong. I do like to kill Gragas here. See what I did there? I waited for him to be out of the air elemental phase, so his movement speed ended up slowing down while mine was still accelerated by being in the circle area, right? So that was a cool little thing to try to remember about. So here's the situation. I get my MR pickaxe into like a ruby is really nice here. Now I do want Sterix. Usually Sterix third item is just by far the best. Second item is like what we talked about. I think I'm against a pretty heavy AP comp, so I'm going to go Force of Nature. On average, though, you're going to find yourself going Deadman's. Obviously, it's a situation, though. Situational is a situation. And I've been having a lot of fun playing Darius jungle. I honestly think it's so fun. I don't think it was good before, but now it's actually quite good with the change to every item. Like, most items got nerfed pretty hard, so damage has just been down so much that Darius is just, you know, in a lot of places I would have died before. I'm able to live now, which is really big. And Darius has a lot of built-in missing health, healing, and all that kind of stuff, so he's sort of the perfect jungler to play him. He doesn't rely on items to help him deal more damage. He relies on them to help him live and just be tankier, and that's a big thing about here. So in this situation, how do we want to start this? We want to just get on her and just Stridebreaker into auto attack W, into a Q, into E once we see her moving too far, into an R. There I honestly don't need to R, but obviously I want to show you guys how I approach like people who I'm trying to get on. Just knowing how you're spelling your combo, your everything like that is just fundamentally important. R. You'll eventually get a hang of it, of how much damage you're able to kind of output. It should help dramatically. I'm gonna go straight for the Corki's hard. Ooh. I call this the Drifferino. You're lucky, Corki. I'll let it slide this time. Oriana, okay. Right, buddy. Yeah, right. Here, do we have enough Sterix? No, we're kind of short, so I'll just farm as much as possible right now. So I'm just gonna farm my jungle. But I'm telling you, if you master Darius right now, you're guaranteed to climb like 2 ranks. Really good right now. I've also been thinking about a lot of Talon jungle too. I think Talon jungle after the bust has been really good. Stridebreaker into auto. Remember Oriana ultied from earlier. We have our Q, so we're kind of okay. What I'm trying to do is stack up my passive and then get the R going. It's all about weaving in, stacking up your passive, and once you stack it up, like I told you, my R is like 3 BF swords. It's insane. But I hope you guys liked the video. Be sure to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Good luck on the climb. I'll be making more Darius videos too in the future, and hope to see you guys around.